Hello students, we are going to start matter in our surroundings. It's very first chapter for grade 9 students in which we will discuss about the properties of matter, different states of matter and conversion of the degree Celsius to the Kelvin scale. Okay, so first of all we will start with the basic definition of matter, that what is matter? Anything which occupies space and has mass is called matter, right? And you all are familiar with this definition. Basic examples are air, right, water, then different metals and non-metals, because if you will see the gold as a metal, it occupies space, right? Then if we will talk about its mass, it is having its mass, right? So we can say that anything which occupies a space, okay, and has mass is called matter. Now matter can exist in three different states you are familiar with and which you have done in your lower grades, that is solid, liquid and gas, right? But we will do in this chapter two additional states, Bose-Einstein and your plasma excited states, that we will discuss later. So first of all we will start with matter only, and we will conclude that matter is made up of particles. For this we will do 2 to 3 examples based on your textbook, as they have explained on this with the help of small activity. Activity is addition of potassium, okay, addition of potassium per manganate, okay, to 100 ml of water. So basically what we are going to do in this activity, we are going to prove that matter can be divided into number of particles. So means we are concluding it that matter is made up of particles. So how we will do, we will just take one crystal of potassium permanganate, okay, and we will add it to 10 ml or 100 ml of water, so in a beaker. So you will see initially you know that water is colorless, okay. So when you will add one crystal of potassium permanganate to this, it will become dark violet in color, okay, which shows that one crystal has divided itself into number of particles and entire beaker has got a violet color, right? Moreover, along with this you can see one more example I have in your book, okay, that is mixing of two gases. You know that when we are having one jar is there which is separate by one boundary, okay, and when you will allow this gas to mix into other, okay, so in one side, one chamber of the cylinder was having only gas and other was empty. So when small you allowed it to mix, what happened, both the gas occupied the entire space. So which shows that there are number of particles which are moving from high concentration to low concentration. So basically one phenomena is happening here, that is basically mixing of two types of states. It can be same state, it can be interstate, and that phenomena is called diffusion, okay. Intermixing of solid to liquid, okay, solid to liquid or liquid to liquid or solid to solid, okay, all examples we have for it, and solid to solid, okay, or gas to liquid, okay. Means intermixing of two states of matter is called your diffusion, okay. It is written, the process of diffusion gives you the two conclusion about the nature of matter. The matter is made up of tiny particles and particles of matter are constantly moving, okay, because when you saw we added one crystal to 100 ml of beaker. Entire crystal occupied entire color of the beaker. So it shows that there is something which is taking that particle from one end to other, means there is movement of particle, right? Similarly, we used to say that today air is so dusty, sandstorm is there, all those examples. Why we can see that? Because particles are easily movable from one end to another, and that is also because of very special motion that is called Brownian motion, that is zigzag motion, that basically we will discuss in third chapter. Okay, so I will just focus on diffusion in this present chapter. After this we will discuss now what are the properties of matter. Okay, among that one we have done. Okay, what are the properties? Basically there are 4 properties. Okay, it is given in your textbook. First is that particles of matter are very small or tiny. Okay, and you have to learn it in order and in the systematic way. Okay, so first is the particles. First you said that matter is made up of particles, then second you are saying now these particles of matter are very very small in size or very tiny. So how you can tell about it? Again the same example of potassium dichromate I will take. We have added one crystal initially in 100 ml of water, right? Then what we will do now, we will do dilution. What is dilution? Means adding water to the regular solution at regular intervals. So how we will do? We will just take from step 1 10 ml of solution and add 90 ml of water to it. So what will happen here? Again your beaker is having 100 ml of solution, but color difference will be there. Initially first step will be intense dark, and this will be bit less intense in nature, right? Its color intensity will be different from that. Okay, this is step 2. Similarly, when we will go to step 3, what will happen? Step 3, again we will take from step number 2 10 ml of that solution, and we will add 90 ml of water. Okay, and now again it will be colored solution, but again intensity will be less. So we will keep on diluting this until and unless that this intensity will not become least. Okay, so it will be least in the last case. Okay, which shows that this particle of matter is having efficiency to divide itself further and further until and unless it will not become smallest in the size. So we can conclude here that particles of matters are very small in nature. I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay, in book also its diagram is clear, which will help you to understand. You can see initially how intense it is in the color, and in the last it is least. Okay, so which concludes that matter, a particle of matter is very very small. Then we have second one, that is particles of matter have space between them. This is very easy to understand. See, when we take for second step that space between the particles, space between the particles. Now this we will talk in terms of two liquids as well as gases. Okay, so what we will do, you just take 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, 1 tablespoon of sugar and just add it to 100 ml of water, right? You can initially just note down the level of water. Okay, suppose this is the level, this is the height of that meniscus that is having. But you will notice after adding even 1 spoon of sugar, that level will not rise. Why? Reason is that because the sugar particles have taken up the vacant space present in between the particles. So which justifies that particles of matters have space between them. Okay, then third property is there, that is particles of matters are constantly moving. Okay, so particles of matter are continuously or constantly moving. Okay, how we can justify? Your instant stick, right? You just lit it in the one room. You can have this fragrance from the several meters away, right? Why? Reason is diffusion. Okay, diffusion is very important property of matter, that is intermixing. Basically intermixing of two states of matter or intermixing of particles of matter is called your diffusion. So what happens actually, similarly the spray of perfume or room freshener, you just spray in the one corner of the room and it within the fraction of seconds you can have that fragrance from the other side of room or in the other rooms also. So reason is that particles of matter are continuously moving, and there is very clear example to understand this. If you just take one glass of water, okay, and just add one drop of blue ink into it, okay, you will see, don't stir it, okay, you will see that ink, that drop will start spreading on its own in that tumbler of water, right? And after few minutes you can see the entire glass will be blue in the color, that water will be blue in color. So what it shows, that particles of matter, they are moving, continuously moving, okay, in all the directions freely, and they are mixing to other state also, right? So what it shows, that property, the intermixing of the two states of matter, is called diffusion. Okay, so now we will do the last one, that particles of matter attract each other. Okay, particles of matter attract each other. This is very important, boys, to understand. Okay, that is that if you take sponge, okay, in sponge you can see that small pores are there, but you cannot separate. It is compressible, but you cannot separate that particle from each other, means they have attraction, force of attraction between them. Similarly your chalk, okay, chalk also you can break it easily, but that breaking you will be able to do from one end, you will not be able to do from the other side. Okay, similarly iron, okay, in iron that force of attraction is very strong, unless and until you will not hammer it, it will not be able to break. Okay, so these are the different example which shows that particles of matter attract each other, and this attraction property varies from substance to substance, right? It can be, if it is a solid, strong solid like iron, their forces of attraction will be strong. In case of chalk it will be less, in case of sponge it will be least. Okay, so on the basis of this we have done our 4 properties. Okay, and you will have some questions like why stone is rigid, okay, or why this wooden rack or iron almirah is solid, okay, and milk is liquid, or your chlorine is gaseous. So all these things you have to explain on the basis of all these 4 properties which we have done just now. Okay, so I hope all these properties are clear to you, and next we will discuss about the different states of matter in my next video. Thank you so much.